Hello everybody, my name is Chris, and today we're doing what I'm going to call skin ranking update catch-up thing. So, how this works is that I'm going to go through each event as I see fit to go through them, so like working the worst event to the best event in terms of their skin quality. Not talking like what actually went on during the event or anything like that, it's just the skin quality, we're just looking at that. So, we're going to do that, and then after, once that's done, we're going to do the top 5 overall. My top 5 picks, my favorites for whatever reason, be their creativity, the character that got them, whatever the fuck I want to pick from it. It's my list, I'll do what I want. So let's jump into the worst event, and then we'll get to the first one. Also, some of these are going to be stills, they're just going to be pictures, because these were weekly event skins that I couldn't really get because I didn't play the game for a while. So they're just going to be still images. I will try to be better about that later on. But stuff like the comic tracer, the alien Zarya, and all that stuff, those will be like in between the second and first worst. It's kind of like a honorable mentions thing, and then we'll go from there. Alright, without further ado, let's jump into the worst event. Ironically, the worst skin for the Lunar event, which is the worst on the list, which, sorry about that, just not a big fan of this kind of aesthetic, is Monk Doomfist, because they didn't really do anything. They added a bit of a dot to his forehead, made him look like he shaved his head even though he's already bald, so you added more texture for no reason, and then changed his tattoo. And that's about it. Like, there really isn't much more to go on with this. Like, yeah, I'm not seeing much of a difference. It just looks like a bit of a palette swap, which I guess that is the point of all of the weekly event skins, but like, there isn't enough of a textural difference. Like, yeah, the pattern's different, but I'm not seeing enough to warrant this being a weekly event thing. I don't miss it. I've never seen anyone use this. I've never seen anyone play with it. I didn't know it was a thing until I looked it up for this list, like 100%. So, it's the worst by default. Next up is Sombra, and really what it is about Sombra is that I think the headpiece is a bit weird. I think the coloration it's very pretty and it works for her. Like the purplish, pinkish thing going on here really does work. I like it a lot. I do think the face is actually changing is really cool. Like, that's a unique concept that isn't really used anywhere else. The problem is that I don't like the faces themselves a lot. Like, they just kind of, I mean, some of them, like the one you're seeing now, is kind of like a Mexican-ish looking thing, which fits her culture very well, but the hat looks like a pirate hat. They stick baubles on it. I don't know, it just doesn't look right, if that makes sense. Like, it's not bad, it's just not the best. Next up is Mask Dancer for Moira, and I don't like the yellow, I don't like the blue, I don't know, I'm not a big fan. What puts this as, like, near the bottom, or even second worst, if I'm being honest, is just, it just looks weird, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem... Again, I'm not a Chinese culture person. I don't know what this is supposed to be a reference to. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I've looked up Chinese culture in the last year, and I've tried to learn, but like, why are the eyes on fire? Like, why the fuck are the eyes on fire? That makes no sense. What is with this, the weird, like, bug-like thing on her back? What is this? What is this? What is this? Ugh. Again, I don't hate it, I just don't not hate it, if that makes sense. Next up is Ancient Bronze for Winston, and the reason this one is in the middle is because, well, not the middle, it's more towards the middle of the end, you know what I mean? Is that the skin itself is fine. I like the idea. Again, it's just a palette swap. I don't think palette swaps deserve that high of a ranking unless they're like really fucking good, like insanely detailed. And this one is really detailed, but it's just, I don't know, it doesn't look like it deserves a higher slot, if that makes sense. Like, it's not offensive or anything. It's just that they recolored his hair and his suit, and that's really it. I do like the whole Aztec idea they're going for. I think that's what this is supposed to be. I'm not entirely certain. Again, not into Chinese culture whatsoever. Can't really tell you if I had to. It's not my thing. So it's fine, just not amazing, if that makes sense. Rounding out the list for the recolors, that is, at least, is the paper cutter. And the reason this one gets the highest of the recolors is because it's at least different. Like, his whole ball looks like one of those flying fish things, those fish lanterns, kind of. Not exactly, but enough that you get my point. And he's painted gold. His entire body is gold, and that's a really cool idea that a lot of skins don't take advantage of. They don't change the color of the person because most of other people in the game are not a hamster or something cute that can be changed without it looking like a little bit of a race issue. So they take advantage of the fact that he's a hamster and he's a full animal, like more so an animal than Winston. He's just intelligent, whereas Winston is sentient enough to speak. That this one makes the cut because it's just makes the cut. It's just more fun to me, and when I first saw this, I was genuinely surprised. But yeah, it's just good. I can't really say anything else about it. Our runner for the Lunar event is Lucio with Samuel Noir, and the reason he's the runner-up is that while I do love this skin and it's Lucio and he's just adorable, it's the fact that the other one is just better, and I'll explain why when we get there. But for what we have, I like the little shiny symbol on his skates. I like the red, yellow, and blue, like the primary colors on his outfits just everywhere. I like that attention to detail because Lucio works in a very, I want to say in a very basic way, because his whole thing is sound, and it works. Like, the primary colors work and sound a lot more because you can use those to make anything, and Lucio is a very basic person in that regard. He's my favorite character in the whole fucking game for that reason. So a visual representation of that makes sense for him and his design. I do love the fact that they kept his original green color scheme in not only the skates, but also in this little ribbon thing on his head that flows around him as he runs. That's really cool. It keeps the spirit of his original design and his color palette, but also makes it more aesthetically pleasing for the environment he's put in. I also love the fact that his hair is really short. I love the bandana. I love the black on brown on everything. I love the drum as his bass booster thing. I absolutely adore what they did with this. It's a very simple to understand concept, but it's very, very well handled and very well executed. Much like his jazzy skin, Lucio just excels in out there concepts in a very simplistic way. It doesn't take a lot to make him look cool because he is cool. That's the whole fucking point. However, that did leave us with one more winner for the Lunar event. And that winner is Bridget with Aperia. Now, the reason Aperia won is it has a lot more detail to it, and that's not a bad thing. It's a very well handled detail. The lotus flower on her kilt, the shoes, the little accent hip guard thing, the fact that her head and her body kind of look like a dragon in some way, but not too much. It's enough to suggest a dragon. Even the flags represent this in a way. They kind of look like two sets of wings on her back. I like that. The mace looks like a fucking 20-sided die for some reason, and I don't get that. My biggest takeaway from this is the faceplate. I don't like the faceplate. I don't like the makeup on her, but I'm not really gonna dock points for that because the rest of the outfit is so solid. It's not my favorite. It might be my favorite. I'm not sure. It depends on how I feel at the end of this, but really, she looks really good for that, and I'm not saying anything against it. Just, it's pretty good skin and a really good one to end the Lunar event on. Next up is the anniversary event, and we're starting off with Widowmaker's Fleur-de-Lis. And the reason I don't like this one that much is, yes, she's French. Yes, I get where they're going with it. But at the same time, I don't. Like, it's... Widow is very much accustomed to cool tones, and I have said that she looks really good as in her nano skin, where it's blonde and like light gray metallics, but she's got normal skin in that. This is again a recolor where it's got a lot of gold gaudiness to her. Her fucking helmet's shining in this lighting. Like, it's not... Again, these aren't bad. I just don't like them as much as I like other ones. I just think they could be better if they had gone with, like, the blue fleur-de-lis or even the red, because those are more in her color palette and it would work. What they're doing here is they're trying to make her look like Tracer a bit, and that doesn't work for Widowmaker. Tracer has a very normal skin tone that works for the, you know, the lighter shades in her arsenal, like the oranges, the yellows, the reds, all that stuff. Widow doesn't, and that's where the skin's failing. Next up is the carbon fiber skin for Sigma, and the reason this one is the best... The reason this one is the second best recolor is because it's black and yellow. That's just a good color scheme. It works for him. It's very simple, very simplistic. It works. But it's still the second worst because the other palette swapped is better, and the other skins after that are objectively better as well. This one is just really, really good for what it's doing. It's just too simple to... It's simplicity done wrong, but it also does it right, if that makes sense. It's just two colors, and that's all you're working with. Now, that does work for like a football team, which is what this is referencing, I think, but at the same time, it doesn't. Am I coming off right? Am I stupid? I think I'm stupid. It's here because it's just too simple. So let's move on to the next one. Next up is the last recolor, and it is the Masked Man for McCree. And what makes this one so fun is that it's got whites, it's got light blues, it's got teals, it's got him wearing a fucking mask. He's supposed to be the Lone Ranger, and that's a really cool idea. I like the star embroiderment on him. I like it. It's very well done. It's not super complicated, but it's not so lazy that it's just two colors. It's objectively good and complex enough that it makes sense of what you're going with. It's not just slap some colors on there and call it a fucking day. They actually modeled a mask onto him, which, yes, it's just a fucking texture on his face, but I can at least appreciate the level of fucks to give. That's my whole thing. Our worst legendary is Mercy with her Dragoon skin. And I'm sorry, Mercy mains, she's my number 3 for a reason, but like, out of all the skins of this event, this is just the worst. Which is a testament to how good the rest of them are, but like, her face is a bit too hooded. I like how her eyes are glowing green. I like that they kept the ponytail. It's not like a helmet, it's just a faceplate. I like the scales. I like the color, obviously. I kind of like the boob plate where it's like horns are grabbing her boobs, which you wouldn't think I'd like that, but I like the creativity with it. It's a good support structure for her. I like the little ethereal, like, pulsing from her wings that act as like the webbing between the wing panels. I don't hate this, it's just the worst by default. Again, I'm not a big fan of dragons and scales and reptiles and all that, but, you know, it works on this one. It works a lot better than some of the other ones the Lunar event tries to pull out, and honestly, Mercy can get it. Like, she's just awesome in general. Like, she pulls this thing off like none other. So, props to that. Next up is Zenyatta's... I'm not even pretend to pronounce this one correctly. It's his Aztec god-looking skin. That's all I'm going to call it. Is just his Aztec skin, because I cannot pronounce the name of this thing. I'll put it on screen for you, but I cannot pronounce this fucking word. So, I like this one a lot more than the Mercy one, because I like the idea they're going with. Oh my god, he has a dagger! Okay, that's cool. I just bumped that up a lot. Like, holy shit, that's cool. They gave this motherfucker a dagger. I'm so happy about that. Like, you wouldn't think I'd be happy about that, but like, it's Zenyatta holding a fucking dagger. That's cool. Why is that cool? It shouldn't be that fucking cool. Anyway, I love the moss going on him. I love the stones. I love the gold plating. I love the face mask. I like the balls being kind of like almost hexagonal in a way. I love the detail here. The blade obviously is hilariously cool to me. They modeled his toes, which I think is hilarious. The little cuffs on his ankles. This is an overall good concept. It's very well done. It fits with his whole monk thing, but it also adds a bit of danger to it because, much like the cultist skin, this adds a bit of like murderous intent because the Mayans and Romans and all that shit were really into blood sacrifices, and it's just kind of cool that, you know, they gave the peaceful character in the game a skin associated with people who used to sacrifice people and ghosts so the sun would rise. I think that's just kind of nice. Plus, it kind of fits with this whole, like, giving life ball, like the Orb of Harmony, because it looks like a sun. So that works really well, too. Next up is Hammond with his submarine skin. And while this is a really cool concept, and I love the bolts on the legs, I love the barrels for the gun holders, I love the propeller in the back of it, I love a lot of it. It's again a bit simple. They just kind of remodeled the ball a little bit and then gave him an outfit. And there isn't a lot of detail to take in here. There is detail, I'm not saying there isn't. Like, the little leg muscles are now accordions so that they can bend and stuff like that, because that's how a lot of things worked in the submarine when this is emulating. Those kind of accordion-like corridors allowed it to bend and sway and move so that you could actually, like, get through the motherfucker and it not be so cumbersome and so that it wasn't gonna break if something hit it. It gave it bend, kind of like the accordion buses, those buses that have the accordion in the middle of it so that it can turn a corner and not break in half or disrupt traffic. Same idea there. Again, I like where this is going. I like the concept. I like what it's doing. I just don't like it as much as I like the other two on this list. It's a bit simple, but that's not a bad thing. It's just a tad too simple, but it also looks a lot better than the other two I just went through. Again, I like the Zenyatta one a lot, but this one just kind of stuck with me, you know what I mean? Our runner-up for the anniversary event is the Masquerade Reaper skin. What I like about this one is, I'm a bit of a theater nerd. I'm not a huge theater nerd. I just like musicals in general. So I kind of like the Masquerade, Phantom of the Opera look going on here. I love the boots. I love the diamond on the top of the boot. I love the gold trim. I love the pantaloons with the wire on it so that it's all like compressed and looks all Shakespearean in a way. I love the cape. The cape has so much fun on its pattern. I love it. I love the guns. I love his face mask. I love the hat. It looks very Spaniard, which might be the point. He is Hispanic after all, but like, oh my god, I love it. It's so cool. It's one of his few skins that don't play to his edgelord crowd and just play more into like the intimidation factor, which is a lot different than the edgelord crowd, because it's one thing to be intimidating, it's one thing to be edgy. And this one's just more intimidating than it is edgy. However, this did get beat out by one, and I can't even fucking lie, it's awesome. The winner is the Ash and Bob Little Red skin. Who the fuck thought of this? I will never know, but I'm so happy about it. What the fuck is this? First of all, I'm in love with fairy tales. We all are. We all love fairy tales. I love the fucked up concept of making Bob the not only the wolf, but the wolf in the granny clothing. That's hilarious. I love the patches. I love the rope belt. I love the outfit. I love the claws. They modeled him as an actual wolf. They gave him a fucking tail. Ash has this nice, like, this is what I would think as a slutty Red Riding Hood would be. Not like all the boobs showing. No, this motherfucker, she's like, I'm gonna be a little bit of a slut, but like, I'm gonna do it right. She's well dressed. She's covered. It's sex appeal done right. It's not bad. It's just a really well thought out skin. It's super fucking cool. Like, holy shit, that is so cool. Her fucking gun is a fucking axe. I want you guys to know that. Her gun, like, they incorporated everything in here. This is the only skin for the event I would actively go after if I could, but then again, Ash is one of my favorite characters, so duh. But holy shit, this is so badass. definitely a contender for the top 5 at the end of this list. Next up is the winter event, and the worst one of the lot is Doomfist with his, I'm gonna butcher this name, Jaun? J-O with the 2 dots, T-U-N-N, Jatoon? Jortoon? I don't know. Why does this look like someone from World of Warcraft died at a blizzard and then put a helmet on? That's the vibe I'm getting from this. That's the only thing I can think of for this skin is it's just weird. It's just weird enough that I don't like it. I can't tell if it's trying to be Norse or it's trying to be German. I don't know what they're going for. I'm guessing Norse is the idea, which I don't know why you'd throw Doomfist in that line because I don't know where the connection is. I don't get the white beard. Like, he looks like a completely different character. Like, if you didn't tell me this was Doomfist and this was someone's, like, no, like, Odin, Ice Giant OC of a Doomfist, I might believe you, because this does not look like Doomfist in any fucking way. Like, holy shit, this looks super out of place. You know what I mean? It's just, it looks weird. Next up is Sigma with the Rhyme skin, and again, I get it's cold and you want these guys to be unthinking, cold killing machines, but like, why? I don't understand who this is supposed to be. What is the fucking? Are you trying to make this like World of Warcraft? Are you trying to appease those fans? I don't know who this character is supposed to be. I don't get the point. Maybe I'm fucking crazy. I'm not sure. I could be. I'm probably crazy as shit. But like, I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't understand the point. I mean, I like it. It's, you know, icy. It's cold. I like the icicles everywhere, but I don't get where you're going with the character aspect of it. Broken chains are always nice. That's always a nice touch, though. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a thing. That is all. Next up is Moira with the Holly skin. And while I love the color palette, I love red, and I love the red and the green, I love the gold accents, it's very Christmassy. It's just a bit gaudy for her. I mean, a lot of Moira's skins are gaudy, we all know this. Her hair being green is a very nice touch. My hair was green for a while this year anyway, so fun. I do like it. It's like the 4th best one so far, so like we're getting there. I don't know, I just feel like it's a bit out of place for her. I mean, objectively, I love the colors, like I said, but like, for her, I'm not a big fan, if that makes sense. Next up is Mercy with her Snow Angel skin, and this is what I think is a good recolor, because it's a lot like her other recolors, but it's got this nice snowflake pattern, it's got some glitter to it, it's got a nice range of colors, the halo sticks out more because it's not just the same color as her hair. It really does work better than you would think it would. It's just nice, you know what I mean? Our runner-up, again, is Reaper, again, with the Rat King skin. And like I said, I'm a big musical theater nerd, and I'm not a big fan of the Nutcracker, but I do love the detail here. I love the rhinestone embossing on the pants, I love the claws on the boots, I love the cape, I love the creepy ass face mask got going on. I love the crown, the guns, the fleur-de-lis on his fucking boots. I love it. I love everything here. It's so nice. It's genuinely creepy without being like overly creepy. It gives the character a nice fucked up vibe that doesn't really come in anywhere else in any adaptation. There's usually just like, oh, it's the Rat King, and then it's a place and it's a ballet. So they can't really make him too scary, because like kids go to that shit and they're like, nah, let's fuck this motherfucker up, and it worked. It's perfect. I love it. I love it. However, it did get beat out by, oh, you fucking know it got beat out by the fucking ugly sweater skin. This is the only skin from the event that I really wanted, because they gave Soldier the fucking ugly sweater skin. I'm really mad this wasn't like a normal event skin. Like, why did you make it weekly? I would have loved to have had this, because I love it. Like, Soldier is like one of my favorite characters. I just wish that I wish they made that more of a permanent option, because I saw it for the first time the other day and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I was so, because I googled it and I was like, oh, it was limited, fuck. That was the one time I was like, I really wish I had played during that event, because, like, that's the only one I wanted. Out of all of these, like, I want the Rat King too, but, like, out of all the weekly events, that's the only one I would have gunned for, because that is hilarious. It's perfect for him. He's such a grumpy old man. I love him. Next up is the Archives event, and the first one we have on our list is the May Bitter skin. Honestly, it just looks like her pink skin, just with a bit of a pattern added on. I don't really see a difference here. Like, yeah, she's got little chain is different, and Snowball has ears, but, like, I'm not seeing enough to give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, when we get to the Halloween one, I'll explain why I put the recolors, the weekly event ones, on a bit of a higher tier, because the Halloween ones are really good, and I'll explain why. Even the next event skins are really good for the recolors, but we'll get there. So yeah, this one just seems lazy, and that's why I don't like it. Next up is Rustclad, and again, it just looks like one of his fucking recolors, just given a bit of a grungier tinge and then added some orange on top of it. It's not really worth the effort to give a shit about, guys. Why you did this, I will not understand. Next on the chopping block is Holly, and honest to God, this is one of the few Symmetra skins I would have actually wanted to get, because I like the idea. I like the fact she's covered in paint. I like the fact it's all mismatched. I like that it looks like she just got done going through one of those weird, like, color smoke bomb things they used to do back in the early 2010s. You know, I think it's really cool. It's not my favorite, but it's really, really cool. I think it's worth the get. It's worth the grab in my mind. Our worst legendary is Anna with Sniper, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know why this was an event skin. I guess because it's a different weapon, or it's without the hat. I do like the fact that it's got like camouflaging accoutrement on it, because she is a sniper. She's supposed to be laying on the ground, get down low, like all that. She's supposed to be like hidden. I understand that, and I like the fact that her gun has a tripod, but this looks just like her other two younger skins. Just, it looks like it looks like Horus. Like, hang on, I'll get a side by side here in a second, but this looks almost the same, just minus the hat. Like, I know that this is a different color, but, like, do you see this, or am I just crazy? Like, does this look really similar, or am I fucking going insane? Because I think I'm going insane, but it could be me, I don't know. This just doesn't look, again, it just feels a bit lazy. Next up is Zarya with her workout skin. This one is honestly really cool. I love the gloves, I love the shoes, the ankle weight, not the ankle weight, the knee brace, the band-aid. I love the weirdly cool lime green aesthetic going on. I love all of it. What I don't get is, why is it in the Archives event and not the Summer Games event skins? Like, it makes no sense why it's here. Like, that's just, like, it would make so much more sense, because in the summer you work out more, you're getting, like, beach ready and all that stuff. Like, I don't understand. Like, what is the point? I don't get it. Like, this would make much more sense there than in the Archives. But I'm not a Blizz dev, so I have no fucking idea. Next up is Farah in Aviator, and it's really good. We're getting to the point in this list where this is starting to get really good. I love the jet wings. I love how weirdly buff she looks. I love the dog tags. I love the jeans. The shoes are actually really, really cool. I like the fact that she's wearing shoes and not boots. I like how she looks like a fucking jet. That's just awesome. I love the sunglasses. The helmet's really appropriate. I think it's just good. It's really nice. This is like a casual version of her normal outfit, which a lot of characters don't get that. They just get like more elaborate shit. Now this motherfucker went, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go to a football game. Fuck you. Like, I am the Blue Angels. So yeah, that works really well for her. I think it's really, really nice. Our runner-up for this event is Roadhog with the Militia skin. And I know, shocking, it's a Roadhog skin at the second best. What are the odds? But I said this before, and I'll say it again. His best skins are where he covers himself up, and while I'm not a big fan of the overalls, this is still a really good skin for him. I mean, look at this. He's got really good shoes on. The overalls cover him entirely. He's wearing a fucking tank top. I love the wrist gauntlet of fucking bullets. I love the sniper rifle on his back. He'll never use it. I love the fact his fucking hook is a Swiss Army knife. I love it. The mask is really well done. I love the fly fishing hat with the sunglasses on it. The grenade's cute to represent the belly button piercing he has on everything now. I love it. It's such a good one. I honestly wanted this one. This and the next one are the only two from the event I really wanted, but I was fine. I was fine with the ones I did get. I do think it's weird the necklace isn't staying on his chest, but oh well, I don't really care. Still a great skin. 9 out of 10. Going from one outlaw to the other, we have our winner with King Jameson. Oh my god, I absolutely adore this skin. It's so good. So good. So good. I love the fact that the wheel is made of treasures he's gotten from past capers. I love the weirdly like white hipster pants with the dollar signs. I love the bedazzled limp cane peg he's got going on. I love the arm, the crown has always stuck out to me. I love the crown on him because like he deserves a crown. He's the king of Junkertown. I love him so much. I love the pearls around his arm. Oh my god, I can't get enough of the skin. It's so great. Like it encapsulates what he always wanted to be, which was like a master thief, and now he is one. And it's so good. So good. I even love the little robber mask on he's got. I have to move on to the next event or I'm going to keep gushing forever. Next up is Tracer with the Union Jack skin. This is what I was talking about with Widowmaker. This would have worked really well for Widowmaker, but as it stands on Tracer, it doesn't really... It's just her flag on her, which you already had skins like that for, like, Diva and other people before this, so why is this a weekly event one? This one just seems like you don't want to make this one permanent because no one will want it. Like, what is the point? It's just the flag on her thighs. What is the point of this one? It's not creative. Like, yeah, the jacket being white is very visually striking, but, like, it's not creative enough to warrant me giving a shit. Next up is one of the only skins on this event that I was actually kicking myself to get, and that's the Sandcastle Bastion skin. Like, holy fucking shit. This is like the brick skin. It's so cool and creative. I love his body in it. I love the fact his head is now the bucket to make sandcastles with. I love his bird. I love that different parts of him are colors and like not just straight up sand. Like, he's just different buckets and like Lincoln log parts put together. It's really well done. I think it should be higher, but the rest of these are really good too. But this is what I mean when I think you should have a legendary, when you should have an event skin be more than just a recolor. This puts all the recolor weekly events to shame. It doesn't make sense why you would do that. It's not fun. It should be more effort than that. It shouldn't be so low energy. This is high energy stuff, and it shows. It's really good. Nothing exemplifies that better than this beauty. This is the Orisa ice cream skin. And yes, it is a very simple palette swap, and it doesn't look as creative as Bastion's, but like, it still struck me differently. Like, they put whipped cream on her head, they changed the textures on her, they gave her a different kind of look. It doesn't look like a straight up palette swap. It looks like ice cream. It looks like summer fun. It looks inviting. It looks tasty. Like, there's even like crumbs on her and shit. Like, that's really creative, and I honestly wish they had gone farther with it. I wish that her chest caddy had like fudge dripping down it, or it was like sprinkles, just something more would have been really cool. And the reason this one beats the Bastion one is that because while I don't want this one as I want Bastion, this one is still more strikingly different. I didn't realize the Bastion one wasn't the brick one or wasn't just another reskin he had until I googled it. Like, it just didn't look right. It looked more like Lincoln logs or some shit. This one looks like a legitimately good Orisa skin, and I really wish more would do stuff like this and the Bastion one, because this one's really good. Our first legendary for the summer event is Farah with the Lifeguard skin, and First off, you got some nice thighs and some good abs there. Good on you, woman. But what I don't like about this one is, A, they already did the lifeguard skin with McCree and it was a lot better. And B, it just looks a bit uncomfortable. Like, how are you going to save anyone with that on? Like, you can't go under the water with the floaties on or with the life jacket. You can't, like, I mean, the med kit's really cool. And the helmet is nice. I can't tell if it's actually a helmet or if it's a football she's holding. I'm going to assume it's her helmet. I don't know, it just doesn't look the same. It just doesn't look as good. I do like the fact that her feet have the tan line for the sandals. That's cute. That's just a funny detail. Next up is Doomfist in the karate skin. It's a karate skin. Just like the monk, all you did was put a little bit of baldness on his head and put him in a normal looking kimono. Like, that's not interesting. It's boring as shit. Stop doing this. Give us effort. Like, even Genji in the whatever the fuck the sword fighting one I couldn't pronounce last year was more interesting than this. Like, just stop doing this. It's not interesting. Next up is Baptiste in his tropical skin, and honestly, I love this one. I love the fact that his gun is a coconut and some wood. I love the bamboo pattern on his legs. The white khaki shorts is hilarious. I love the flannel. I love the wristwatch. The sunglasses are cute. It's fun. It's just, I can imagine him wearing this out on vacation. I love it. I love the little umbrella too. I love the whole aesthetic. But I think it could have been a little bit more creative. Like, I love what it's doing, but it could be more. You know what I mean? Like here with Bridget's Friskin skin. Like, it's a fisherman's outfit. I could totally see her doing this. Like, I 100% could see her going out and, like, being a like a crab catcher or a fish catcher, like with the nets and the boxes and all that shit. I 100% see that. Like, that is 100% her MO during the summer. Because she doesn't want to be bored. She wants to go out and do shit. And I might as well go catch fish, make a living off it. Crab hunting's fucking bank money. Holy shit. Like, and look, she just looks so cute. She looks so happy to go do this messy, dirty job no one wants to fucking do. I love how the mace is just a bunch of hooks. I love the fact that her backpack's a fucking generator. I love it. I love it so much. It's such a good one. This is what I mean, like, when a little more detail goes a long way. Because it didn't take a lot to redo this, but it's well done, if that makes sense. And the winner, obviously, is fucking Echo with Surf's Up, because, like, you knew it was going to be Surf's Up. Y'all knew it was going to be Surf's Up. It was not going to be Surf's Up. Like, this is, like, the best event skin for the summer, because, like I said in my Echo ranking video, it's just got a lot of personality to it. It's fun. I love the surfboards as wings. I love the weird, like, lava coolant effect that her hair and arms have now. I think that was part of the update that came out the other day, because this wasn't here when I did this the first time. It's just good. Like, it's creative enough that it takes advantage of her robotics and her cybernetics, that it's not boring enough, and it's just not boring. It's just fun. I love her hair. I love how it gives off sparks. I love the fact she's looking like she's wearing, like, skates. It's just a good time. It's just a really good time. Alright, with that out of the way, let's look at the interim event skins, like basically the Overwatch League skins. Starting with the Alien Zarya skin. I didn't get this one because I didn't know it was a thing, but I like it. I like the whole Men in Black aesthetic it's got going on. I love the whole idea that, basically that, just that it looks like Men in Black, and that's really funny to me. Not much to talk about this one, it's just an alien in a black suit. I do like the boots being like her big fuck off, I'm from the motherland kind of shoes. I think that's a really fun idea to keep those consistent with her. So yeah, not the worst, but not the best. I'm not ranking these from worst to best, I'm more just talking about them as I see them, because they're all on the same level of quality, because the Overwatch League skins are very well done, they just don't have anywhere to go. Next up is the Bridget Goat skin, and this one's just cute. It reminds me of Ares from Fairy Tail. I think it's just cute. It's fun, it's breezy, it's got like this nice bounce to it. I don't know, and the fact her hair is purple with the horns out, I just think it's really, really nice. It might be for the Rams, I'm not sure, but Either way, it's still a very nice looking skin. Alright, that was our last still image, so the rest of these are going to be just actual footage of me using them. So next up for the Overwatch League skin, we have the Thunder. I don't know when I bought this or why I bought this, but I did. It's really good. I like the stone look, I like the teeth, I love how molten lava he looks, I like how the gauntlet is a different color. Electricity popping out. That's just a cool touch. He looks a lot like Baraka from Mortal Kombat. Looks a lot like that, which isn't a bad comparison. It's just an accurate one. Next up is D.Va's 2020 Pacific All-Star skin, and I adore this thing. D.Va doesn't get a lot of good skins, but this is a really, really good one. I love the cloud aesthetic. I love how everything looks kind of like light and fluffy. I love the Greek god look going for it. I love her outfit having this nice texture under it that lets you see kind of like the stars move around her. I love how the mecha isn't ugly as shit for once. I love the electric blue highlights. I just think it's a really, really good skin. I love the little like hovering wispy cloud things. Just solid, like 8 out of 10. Next up, we have the Tracer comic skin, and honestly, this one isn't half bad. I like the concept of a comic being an outfit. I wish I know that this has been a thing for like outlet stores for years, but like I think actually having a pair of leggings that have like a Spider-Man comic on them would be really fun. I like the comic this debuted for, I should say. I love the fact they actually changed her hair, gave her different goggles. I don't think they did. No, yeah, her hair's different. It's not as, like, down in her face. I like the pink on her. I love the pow, bang, and zip. That kind of stuff. The onomatopoeias on there. I love how it's pink instead of, like, her original orange. It's nice. It's unapologetically Tracer. And that's all it has to be. And for our last league skin is the Reinhardt 2020 Pacific All-Star skin. This feels the same role similar to Arisa's Forest Spirit one. It's got the nice little green floaties going on. It's got a nice wood aesthetic. I love the bear pelts. I love the grime. I love the storybook wood feel to it. I love the kilts. I love it all. It's such a good one. It's not the best, they all have the similar quality to me, but it's still really well done. It looks like a golem came to life, and that's honestly really good to me. And our last event is our best event, that being the Halloween 2020 event. And worst by default is Bridget. Now, the reason that she is worst by default is nothing to do with her, and more so to do with just the fact that everything else was better. So, I do love stone. I just wish that it had more of that molten lava feel to it. I wish there were more cracks, more showing through kind of thing, because it does look really nice, but it just feels a bit one-note. Which, yes, it's supposed to look like a gargoyle came to life by demonic possession, but it just could have been a bit better. You know what I mean? Just a smidge more. The orange would have made this look so much cooler. Next up is Dai Tensu? Tetsu? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Again, I know that this is supposed to be like a demon coming into our world. I get that from the general appearance of his face, but also, again, I'm not a big fan of Japanese or Chinese culture, so I don't understand its purpose. And I don't like aggressive looking things, so this one just comes off really not my thing. I did get it in a loot box, so I'm happy about that. I'm not super, I don't know, just not my thing. It's not bad, just worst legendary by default. Again, its detail is amazing, just not my favorite thing. Ironically, next is Genji with the Kararasu Tenju? I don't know how to pronounce that word. Again, for the ones I can't pronounce, I'll put them on screen. But like, this one is marginally better than Hanzo's, but the other ones are just better than this. I love how it's a weird fucking raven just wielding a sword. Like, that's fucking awesome. Like, it shouldn't be that awesome, but it is that awesome. Like, it's a giant fucking raven wielding a sword at you. If that isn't terrifying, I don't know what is. And it looks just faceless enough that you can't really assign a human emotion to it, but it also looks stoic enough that you're just like, well, fuck. It's a good adaptation of his mask looking like a bird, and it works super well for him. Next up is Sigma, our resident Flying Dutchman, in the Flying Dutchman skin. This was the first one I got in the event, and it was honestly really fucking cool. It was so dope. I love the fact this little chronal accelerator is a globe. I love how glowy he is. I love the green aesthetic. I love the ship parts as his armor. I love it. I love the little barnacles being his projectiles. It's a really good skin. Fun fact, actually, I learned this from watching Suede. He's a YouTuber who does like a Pokemon review every week. It's a really good show. You should watch it. The Flying Dutchman and Davy Jones have nothing to do with each other. It's because of SpongeBob and the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise that they're conflated to be together in our cultural history. So that's why we assume Flying Dutchman, Davy Jones, when in reality they had nothing to do with each other. So without those two pop cultural icons conflating them, we would never have this iconography, which in my mind is a positive, because like it's a really good thing to have for an icon of fucking pirates. Plus the Flying Dutchman is just a really cool idea, and Davy Jones just sounds right to have for the captain of the Flying Dutchman. Maybe it's me, but oh well. Next up is Sombra in Phantasma. This is what I mean when I say a recolor can look awesome. Look at this. They took her actual color palette and made it from purple and pink to neon blue and black. Look at this shit. Look at all the little coding on her that is so easy to read now. The danger sign, the way her hair looks, the creepy aesthetic of her eyes, just all of it is so well thought out. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated for it to look good. Even if it is a recolor, you could, like, any kind of recolor can look good if you put the effort into it. This one did, and it's really well done. It's not the best recolor, we'll get to that in a minute, but it is certainly the second best out of the events this year. Next up is Winston in the werewolf skin, and this is the only skin for Winston I actually fucking like. I love the weird, fucked up thing that this franchise does with wolves. Why do the wolves look so cool? His jetpacks are fucking haunted trees. Oh my god, I love the tails, I love the Teen Wolf like jeans and flannel going on. I love the shackles. Oh my god, it's such a good skin. I love the fact they gave him fangs and like an underbite. The hair is awesome. The wood paneling is so good. I love even his fucking, like, down there on his stomach, there's no hair there. Like, there's none of the, like, the fuzziness to it. So, like, that's a really cool, like, fur pattern. That's nice. Why don't more skins do this? This is so good. More stuff like this, please. Just please. Our runner-up for the past year is Echo in the Ragdoll skin, because this is creepy as all fuck. Like, do you see this? Are you seeing this? Like, the no eyes, the stitching everywhere, the fabric texture on her. Her little halo thing is now made of, like, thorns and shit. The sad faces that look like people on her wings. The blood red that used to be the electric blue on her body. Like, oh my god, this is legitimately creepy. And, like, I'm not gonna do this for anyone else. I haven't done this for anyone else, but, like, look at this highlight intro, just with this skin. Tell me that isn't 10,000 times more creepier than with her normal face on. Like, holy shit, just the fact that it went from, like, oh, like, turning on the system to, hi, I know you're here, is just, like, pants-shittingly terrifying to me. I don't know what it is. Like, oh my god, why would you do this, Blizzard? It's amazing. However, and this should be a surprise to no one skin did beat this, and it's the Shen Raygon skin for D.Va. I've been waiting for D.Va to get an actual Halloween skin for years, and I don't even like Halloween that much. I think Black Cat used to be it, but that got moved to normal skin territory like a year and a half in, so now they gave her this one. This is like haunted Japanese shit, and I don't like either one of those things, but it works so well together that it's surprisingly good. Like, I love the purple accents, I love the fact she looks like a zombie, I love the cat ears, the long hair, the foxtail. I don't know what this is referencing, but it's a really, really good skin. I love the fact that the skin looks like a house, like she's a ghost haunting something, which I think might be the point, but it's, again, a really, really good, well done version of this. It's not boring like a lot of skins can be. Like, this one actually took the time to put in the effort to be not only scary, but appealing to look at the same time. It's just not bad in general. It's the best skin of Halloween by far, like without even a fucking doubt. Okay, so now for the top 5. We're going to do no more than 2 per event, because there's just some that deserve more praise than others. For number 5, it's the Miltia skin for Roadhog, because again, it covered his body well enough, and it was a nice enough departure from the holy shit, I'm a monster vibe I gave him all the time. So again, really good on that one. Number 4 is the Masquerade skin from the anniversary for Reaper, and the reason is for that being number 4 is that it's a really creative idea that doesn't play up the creepiness too much. It just kind of envelops him as a character a lot. It's not bad, it's not great, it's pretty in the middle. Solid work. Number 3 is the Shen Raycon skin for Diva. I know, she didn't get number 1. What can I say? Again, like I just said, it's very well done, it's very spooky but not terrifying. It's a good middle ground skin, but it's not the best. It's just really well done, if that makes sense. Number 2 is King Jameson. I mean, he deserves to be king of everything. He's such a goof. I love him. It's a really well done skin. It's like his fantasy skin. I can't get over it. The number 1 for the year was Little Red skin for Ash from the anniversary event. The reason this one is so good is that it's just stupid enough to be fun and serious enough that you can see the Blizz devs just being like, what are we gonna do this year? Well, she doesn't really have an anniversary skin. Let's just, I mean, there's 2 of them, so we gotta like make both of them something. How about Little Red Riding Hood? That seems kind of like ironic. And they're like, yes, Daryl, you're a genius. Get in the octagon. I love it. It's the fact, not only the fact that it's the big bad wolf and Little Red, it's the fact they put him in the fucking granny outfit with the glasses that make it hilarious. It's just the right amount of stupid to not tip over into are you fucking kidding me territory. And that's really all I can say about it. It's just perfect. So that's my list, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this yearly wrap up. I hope we can do this again next year. As always, my name is Chris. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do what you do, and I'll see you guys next time.